I'm 95 years old now. My hands shake when I hold a teacup, my knees ache when winter comes, and most of the cats I once loved are long gone from this world. But over the last 71 years, I shared my home, my food, my bed, and my soul with more than 30 cats. I watched kittens grow old beside me. I buried tiny friends with my own trembling hands. And today, when I walk into young people's homes and smell those sweet candles, those strong sprays, those chemical cleaners shining on every surface, I feel a pain in my chest that is hard to explain. Because I made the exact same mistake once. A terrible mistake, one that cost me a cat I still dream about at night. And I need you to listen carefully because your cat may already be suffering silently while you admire how beautiful your home looks. 40 years ago, I thought a perfect home smelled like lemons and lavender. I believed cleanliness meant strong scents. Every morning, I sprayed air freshener in the curtains. I polished the floors until they shined like mirrors. I burned candles every evening because I thought the warm vanilla smell made the house feel peaceful. My friends praised my home. "It smells wonderful in here," they would say. And I smiled proudly while my cat slowly stopped breathing properly right beside me. Her name was Daisy, a soft gray cat with sleepy green eyes. She had followed me through some of the hardest years of my life. After my wife died, Daisy slept against my chest every single night. There were evenings when I spoke more words to that cat than to any human being, and yet despite loving her deeply, I was poisoning the air she lived in. You see, cats are not small humans. That is the mistake many people make. Their bodies are delicate in ways most owners never understand. Their lungs are smaller. Their noses are stronger. Their livers cannot process many chemicals the way ours can. A smell that gives you comfort can feel like smoke filling your cat's tiny chest. But they rarely scream about it. Cats suffer quietly. That is why so many people miss the signs until it is too late. I remember the first thing Daisy started doing. She began hiding under the bed more often. At the time, I thought she was simply getting older. Then she started sneezing. Just small sneezes here and there. Nothing dramatic. Then came the watery eyes. Sometimes she would sit near the window with her mouth slightly open, breathing harder than normal. I noticed it, but I ignored it. God forgive me, I ignored it because I was busy making the house smell fresh. I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders back then and told me the truth. I wish someone had warned me that many scented candles release chemicals into the air that linger for hours. I wish someone had told me that aerosol sprays hang in a room long after the scent fades. I wish someone had explained that essential oils, especially tea tree, eucalyptus, peppermint, citrus oils, and cinnamon oils, can be dangerous, even deadly, for cats. But nobody told people those things in those days. Or maybe they did, and stubborn fools like me simply didn't listen. There is something heartbreaking about how much cats trust us. They trust the air we give them. They trust the floor they walk on after we mop it with chemicals. They trust the blankets we wash in heavily scented detergents. They trust us completely, and sometimes we repay that trust with ignorance. One evening, Daisy climbed onto my lap while I was reading. I remember the candle burning beside the chair. Vanilla cinnamon, strong enough that I could smell it from the hallway. Daisy suddenly jumped down and started coughing. Not a hairball cough. Different. A dry, painful little cough. She crouched low to the floor afterward, breathing quickly. I can still see her sides moving in and out. Fast, too fast. That moment still follows me. I took her to the veterinarian the next morning. The doctor asked me a question I had never considered before. "Do you use a lot of scented products in your home?" I laughed nervously and said, "Only enough to keep it clean." The vet looked at me with tired eyes and said words that changed the way I lived forever. "Your cat doesn't care if your house smells like flowers. Your cat cares whether she can breathe." I went home that day and walked room to room looking at my house differently for the first time. The candles, the sprays, the plug-in fragrances, the floor cleaner, the carpet powder, the fabric mist on the couch. Everywhere I looked, there were chemicals pretending to be comfort. And Daisy, poor Daisy, had no escape from any of it. People forget that cats live closer to the ground. Every cleaner on the floor touches their paws first. Then they lick those paws clean. Imagine that for a moment. You spray chemicals on your kitchen floor, your cat walks across it, then cleans itself with its tongue. Day after day, month after month. Tiny doses, silent exposure. And because cats hide illness so well, many owners never connect the dots. Even perfumes can trouble them. strong colognes, hairsprays, nail polish removers, diffusers releasing oils into the air hour after hour. To us, it feels pleasant. To a cat, it can feel overwhelming, like being trapped inside a cloud they cannot escape. I remember another cat I had years later named Oliver. Big orange fellow, gentle as rain. One Christmas, my daughter brought home pine-scented sprays and holiday candles. Within 2 days, Oliver stopped eating properly. He stayed near the back door constantly, desperate for fresh air. That was when the old lesson came rushing back into my mind like a punch to the chest. I removed every scented thing from the house that same night, opened all the windows despite the cold. By morning, Oliver was already breathing easier. Cats often speak in whispers, not screams. That is why you must notice the small things. Sneezing more than usual, watery eyes, wheezing, coughing, hiding, reduced appetite, grooming excessively after floor cleaning, sleeping near windows or doors constantly, sudden changes in behavior after using a new product. These are not always random little quirks. Sometimes your cat is begging for relief in the only ways it knows how. And there is another truth young people do not want to hear. A beautiful home means nothing if it steals peace from the creatures living inside it. When I was younger, I cared too much about appearances. I wanted guests to admire my polished furniture and scented rooms. But now, at 95 years old, I understand something very different. Home is not supposed to smell like chemicals and fake flowers. A real home smells like safety, quiet, warm blankets, sunlight through curtains, maybe a little bit like cat fur and old books. That is enough. That is more than enough. One of the saddest things about getting old is realizing how many mistakes were made with good intentions. I never meant to hurt Daisy, not for 1 second. I love that cat with all my heart. But love without knowledge can still cause suffering. That is the bitter truth. These days my house is simple. No candles, no strong cleaners. I use gentle unscented products whenever possible. I open windows often. Fresh air has become sacred to me. The cats I care for now sleep more peacefully. Their breathing is quiet and deep. Sometimes I sit in my old chair and simply listen to that sound. Soft breathing from a sleeping cat. There is no richer music left in my life. I know some people watching this will think, surely a little candle cannot matter that much, and perhaps sometimes it does not. But the danger is not always one single thing. It is accumulation. Day after day, spray after spray, scent after scent. Tiny lungs breathing it all in without choice. Cats evolved to detect the world through scent. Their noses are extraordinary. What seems mild to you can be intense torture to them. Imagine if someone trapped you in a room where every smell was 10 times stronger than normal. Imagine never being able to leave. That is the reality for some cats. I still remember the final winter Daisy lived with me. She would curl beside the radiator in silence, older, thinner, breathing heavier than she should have been. I often wonder whether she would have lived longer if I had understood sooner. That question is a heavy stone I still carry inside me after all these years. And perhaps that is why I am speaking to you now with such urgency, because your cat trusts you completely. Right now, somewhere in your home, your cat may be lying quietly near a scented candle while its tiny lungs struggle. Your cat may already be reacting to the air freshener you sprayed this morning. Your cat may already be trying to tell you something through sneezes, watery eyes, or unusual behavior. Please do not ignore those whispers the way I once did. I know modern life teaches people that every home should smell like a hotel lobby or a perfume store. But animals do not need that. Cats do not care about mountain breeze floor cleaner or ocean mist spray. They care about safety, clean water, gentle hands, calm voices, fresh air. That is their paradise. When you finish listening to me today, I want you to do something simple. Walk through your home slowly. Look at every spray bottle, every scented candle, every diffuser, every harsh cleaner under the sink, and ask yourself one question. Is this for my comfort or my cat's well-being? Because sometimes the things we buy to make life beautiful quietly make life harder for the creatures we love most. Age teaches strange lessons. At 95, I no longer care if people think my home smells fancy. I care whether the cat sleeping beside my chair feels safe enough to breathe deeply. That is what matters in the end. Not appearances, not trends, not compliments from guests, just peace. And if you remember nothing else from this old man today, remember this. Cats suffer silently until they cannot anymore. Do not wait for a tragedy to teach you what kindness could have taught earlier. Go check on your cat after this video. Open a window. Blow out the candle. Put away the strong sprays. Sit quietly beside them for a few minutes and listen to their breathing. One day, when your own hair turns white like mine, you will realize those quiet moments were the real treasures all along. I do not have many years left now. I can feel that truth more clearly each winter. But if my old memories and painful mistakes can protect even one cat somewhere tonight, then perhaps Daisy's suffering was not completely meaningless. So please go hug your cat today. Hold them gently. Thank them for trusting you with their tiny, fragile life. And if this old man's memories helped you even a little, stay with me a little longer. Like the video. Subscribe. Come sit beside me again sometime. There are still many things these old cats taught me before they left this world, and I would hate for those lessons to disappear when I do.